Welcome back to the Takeout. Today is National Sock Day. I didn't know if you knew that, but of course, if you're a regular viewer of this show, you know that every day is National Sock Day, and here they go. See, that's a gift from my crew. If you don't know who that is the immortal San Diego chicken on my socks. National Sock Day. All right. Here in the Conversation Corner, we're going to talk about the end of the year and Spotify. There are things you can count on when the year ends. You know, colder weather, Mariah Carey topping the charts, crowded stores, holiday shopping, and the unbridled excitement that millions of Americans experience when they wait for their Spotify Wrapped. That is the personalized recap of what a music listener on Spotify listened to, including their most streamed artists and songs. Thanks to one reporter, we now have a glimpse into what the playlists of congressional lawmakers look and sound like. Said reporter, Oriana González, joins us. She is a reporter with NOTUS. Remember, that's News of the U.S. All right, so you want to know about me? My Wrapped. Put the graphic up. Top genres, classic rock, duh. Jazz blues, singer-songwriter, new wave, funk, top song, Steve Winwood's Valerie. Oriana, what do we know about members of Congress?
Well, it's actually very eclectic in ways that I just didn't expect at all. First of all, Taylor Swift was definitely in pretty much
in there.
Every member Spotify Wrapped. Bad Bunny also made an appearance a couple of times. I was surprised that some members like Nick Begich from Alaska had EDM and electric music always on at all times. And I put it in a playlist. Actually, I put all the songs together in one playlist of all of the member songs. And his songs are in there, and they're very different from every other member's songs, because it'll go from Taylor Swift to suddenly the strongest electronic music you can expect ever.
And I see AOC, Bad Bunny.
Exactly.
Jamie Raskin, Maryland Democrat, Bruce Springsteen, Sarah McBride, Taylor Swift.
Precisely.
And Don Bacon doesn't know what Spotify is, Republican from Nebraska. Right?
He did not know, but I went up to him and I said, Congressman, do you use Spotify? He said, I don't really know what that is. And I showed him what I was doing of collecting everybody's top artists and songs. And he looked at me, he goes, well, I can tell you my favorite artist, and that's Rolling Stones. And I was like, thank
Simple
you.
Man, a great song by Leonard Skinner. For those who are not familiar, those of you who have Spotify and classic rock, you'll know what Simple Man is. And you also talked to Senator Gallego, Ruben Gallego from Arizona. There's a graphic we have in the control room. Put that back up. Explain.
So he specifically, I was very interested in him because I know that he likes a lot of Spanish music. So I was like, okay, he'll say something along the lines of Bad Bunny or Karol G. And then as he was showing me his phone, I see that Under the Sea, the Little Mermaid song is in there. And I asked, immediately this stands out. And he said, well, okay, my daughter is obsessed with this song, and we sing it together. Yes. He said that they sing it together when they're doing bath time and then when he's taking her to daycare.
Bath time and daycare. All right, so if you haven't done this, folks, with your Wrapped, and even if you have, you know that it will designate your estimated Spotify age. Mine was 71. Spotify, I'm 63, okay? And I resent, it says don't take it personally. How else can I take it? You said I'm 71. I'm clinging to my 63-year-old status. What age did you come up with, Oriana, for you?
See, I'm 28.
Okay.
I actually got 19.
And how do you regard that? Insultingly or complimentary?
A little bit of both. Very confused. I don't exactly know how we got there. Right. I was definitely the youngest of my friends and of literally every person that I know, including members of Congress. So much to think about for me. Because what it does is it sort of goes through your list, and if you're listening to something that is somewhat aged, like fine wine, you yourself are given a higher age. I know several people in their 30s or young in their early 30s, late 20s, who got in the 60s and 70s, just because they like. That's not their actual age. It's not even close to their actual age. I know. I'm very curious because I'm also listening to Fleetwood Mac. Right. I'm listening to Aerosmith. What happened to that? I should have been at least 50.
How willing were members of Congress to talk to you about this?
Very, very. I'm sure you've seen this before, you've experienced this, but a lot of the times I get shut down by members if I'm asking about politics at all.
Right. Contentious issues or things like that.
Exactly.
This was like a lifeline.
Oh, absolutely.
Pop culture lifeline.
They would look at me and say, like, oh, this is actually a question I want to answer. So it was very nice.
How widespread would you say Spotify is among members of Congress? Bacon is a clear example of someone who's not quite hip to it. Is he a Pandora guy or something?
He said good old radio.
Or cassette tapes, probably.
Yeah,
8 tracks.
yeah. A lot of them actually said they used Pandora.
Right.
A lot of that said, and I quote, good old radio.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a little bit of everything. But like, to be quite honest, I was sorry to the members of Congress. I was shocked that they did use Spotify.
Anyone in leadership answer your question?
I tried to reach out. I reached out to Hakeem Jeffries and unfortunately didn't get anything out of it. And
Love to know what's on John Thune's Spotify.
Oh, my God.
John Barrasso.
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all?
James Langford, A lot of Bad Bunny. No, there's no Bad Bunny there. Or
I would hope.
Very, very limited. But Bad Bunny, very popular. The NFL knows what it's doing.
That was my top artist.
That is a clear takeaway.
Yeah, that was my top artist, so.
Oriana González, thanks so much. That was
Thank you so
fun.
much.
Super fun.